Hello, I'm Kelly Mantle. Hello, I'm Kelly Mantle. Hello, I'm Kelly Mantle. And this is the Kelly Mantle Show. Won't you come inside the Kelly Mantle Studio? Do you know I never know where I am, but I always end up where I'm supposed to be? The other day I was at a fashion show in DTLA for an up-and-coming fashion designer whose name was a Roman numeral. I was seated next to Michelle Pfeiffer and Timothy Chalamet, and the models were stomping down the runway as if it was their last day on Earth. And just as the show was coming to a nail-biting conclusion, a woman from the audience stood up and said, "I pledge of allegiance to the Prada bag, one nation under Gucci, red-bottomed Louboutin, and the home of Gautier. We need fashion on the front lines. No more basic camo. We need camo couture. We need Linda Evangelista wearing Amelia Earhart and Stephen Meisel capturing it for Italian Vogue magazine. The editorial will be called Bringing the Front Lines to the Met Gala. And Anna Wintour will be our commander-in-chief, because you better believe any woman who wears her sunglasses at night is always ready to put up a fight." And at that moment, the security came and dragged me away, but not before I could blow a kiss to Timothy Chalamet. He laughed, and I vomited. Welcome to the Kelly Mantle Show. Won't you come inside the Kelly Mantle Studio? Today's guest shot out of the club kid scene and became a diamond crown queen. She pranced down the runways and right into our hearts, shifting our corneas with mystical, magical art. Passion is her fashion, from the subtle to the extreme. She's like a mix of a cucumber-scented waterfall and a violently erotic dream. She's no queen on the scene. She is the scene. She stole the scene. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring to you Raja.
I'm looking for the prompter.
Honey, it's all right off the top of my head.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
I don't know.
The flow came.
It all came to me from the conversation we just had, and I put all the pieces together and the rhymes and the rhythms.
So you took some quick notes.
Yes.
A couple words.
I'm like a little computer up here. I have a lot of people living up here. So there's a full-time staff, just like...
Is that ADHD?
I think it's called, well, I used to call it... crazy, and I was told I can't call it that, so I was told to call it multiple personality disorder, and now we're not supposed to call it that anymore. We're supposed to call it headmates coexisting in our headspace. That is the they-them version of it, so we don't get it twisted. Honey.
Honey,
I think that's what's happening.
I think I'm just going to go with the ADHD. I think that's the easiest, quickest way of
I
explaining.
have ADHD, and it was prescribed by Dr. Raja right here.
Kelly Mantle, please, can I... Did you already have questions ready for me?
It doesn't matter.
Because I have to
We fly by the
say
seat
something.
of our pantyhose here at the Kelly Mantle Show, honey.
I have to say something that's
Say it.
really
Get it off
important
your
for me to
chestises.
tell you, because we have known each other for...
Centuries.
No, the math says decades.
Lifetimes.
And I've known you for a really long time, and I don't think I've ever told you how important of a role you've played in my life in forming my position and navigation of drag and gender here in Los Angeles in particular. I moved here in 1999 in the summer, so technically 2000, and you were such a huge part of the presence of the queer, all of it, right?
We were
Experience,
androgynous
club
gender
makeup,
benders, honey. Gender benders. Club makeup.
Cherry. You were in some car ads. I'm talking about, what's that agency we used to? Dragon.
Oh, Dragon.
You were the star of
Now Live in
Dragon.
Lime.
Yes.
With Robin and Heim,
Robin
honey.
Cameltoe.
I have an audition for you, honey.
Yes. And so that really has such a huge part in my life, and how how you just kind of you were just such a huge presence for me. But you were like the template for me.
I love that.
Yeah,
Thank
you were doing
so
a lot
much.
of. What was the car ad?
That was for Toyota.
You see what I mean?
Yes, Dragon.
And it was
got
like
me
you
that
in like some
ad.
shag
Yes.
haircut and like bell-bottom jeans or something, right?
Yes, absolutely. We were all rocking
knew
the
I was
the MySpace emo cut. That was androgynous. Honey, listen, we both grew up on Boy George, the mother of our androgyny.
Boy George and I share the same birthday.
Do you really?
Yeah, along with Donald Trump. It's the three of us.
Karma chameleon, honey. Karma, you are a karma chameleon. We're karma chameleons.
I mean, literally Google famous people born on June 14th, and it's just the three of us.
That's hilarious. I can't believe that you share a birthday with Donald.
Don't even.
Because you can't be more different from each other. So it makes me question every astrological thing I've ever known in my whole entire life. Because you are, but it makes sense though, because it's the Gemini. And I think you have the two,
right?
And you don't know which one is going to be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I don't know what her moon or her rising is.
Her moon, honey.
There's all of those.
Is dark.
There's all of those. I don't know
dark.
what her tarots be reading. Apparently, factually, we are born on the same date in the calendar, but that doesn't mean fucking nothing.
Nothing.
What I do understand in being a Gemini is narcissism.
Yes.
I think that's a big part of what we do that makes us so charming.
I was getting ready to say there's a good side of narcissism and a bad side of narcissism. Like RuPaul says, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love someone else? You have to love yourself first and foremost in order to bring the richness to all of your other relationships and everything else in your life.
Agreed.
So there's a level of narcissism that's healthy.
Yeah.
And then there's a level with him, obviously, that's not. So
yeah. I think we should Google how many Gemini presidents we've had in our history.
Interesting.
Can
someone Google how many Gemini presidents there's been out in the lobby? We have a lobby here at the podcast. It's wonderful. There's people sitting out there pushing buttons and cords and HDMI.
Really?
It's amazing.
Oh my God,
it's absolutely amazing. So I have to backtrack for a minute because on that same note, like I said, we've known each other, I feel like probably for many lifetimes, but we knew each other some time ago. And even before we knew each other, 7969 Peanuts, honey. And that's what I was getting ready to say. We didn't really know each other then, but I knew of you. And you always seemed so aloof and beautiful and mysterious. I'd watch you walk around the pool table in your high heels, and you were like an Isabella Rossellini in a David Lynch film. Also a Gemini.
Oh, work, bitch. No, keep going.
And I was like, and you'd lean over and hit the pool ball, and then your eyes would meet mine, and I'd be like, I could totally be her lesbian lover.
Yeah.
It was, do you see yourself that way? I know that's an awkward question because, of course, even if you do, you don't want to admit it, but you can admit it here. Do you see yourself that way?
I've been on this thing of revisiting sections of my past, and sometimes and they go back and forth like a I don't know, like a computer machine.
Yes.
And I've been going back into big sections of my life and reassessing and reimagining and reliving them in my mind. And definitely those years in my life, certainly my 20s and early 30s, I think about those moments a lot.
But you still carry that.
You think so?
You still carry that aura.
That's a compliment.
No,
Thank
you do.
So I think that was the fantasy. That was sort of the delusion, right?
I would always look at you from across this. I think we smoked indoors then, even so. It would be literally across a smoky bar-filled room, and you'd be playing pool, and I'm like, she's literally like Linda.
I had that Ukrainian boyfriend that was like a painter, and two of us we just downed whiskey and did coke in front of everyone.
He was so
And we
Extraordinary.
And I had that long black hair, and we just like walked around and smoked Marlboros and flicked them at people. It was so fun. No phones.
Never phones. We didn't have phones. We didn't have pictures then. It was very rare to have a picture. Remember, Viva Sex used to take the Polaroids and she'd Photoshop them before Photoshop
it's the movie
was a
in my
thing.
mind now. Now it's all a fable. I can tell it however I want it to because no one has any proof.
No, but your boyfriend, he was so extraordinary because he was like a Clark Gable. You know, I'm serious. It was just, I mean, those times, you know, I think back on those times too because
he drove that muscle car with the tinted windows.
I still have it.
He was.
Are you talking about my 79 Chevy Camaro with T-tops? Or are you talking about
his?
Oh, no, honey, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about mine because I used to pull up to 7969 Peanuts to the valet in my 79 Camaro.
Oh, my God. That is its own story.
Christy Girlington, we were driving up the 101 one night.
Muscle cars in the parking lot.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Bitchin'
he drove a
Camaro.
Charger, like a 70-something Charger.
James had a Charger.
It rumbled. We fucked in the back seat.
Yes.
Like, at the very top of Franklin, like just right above Franklin and Whitley. And
so
just like,
hot.
yeah.
Oh, girl.
Me still in drag and just believing
Fuck
the
yeah,
magic.
girl.
25.
I don't even see it as drag. I just see it as you and Raja. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
You're giving him Raja in the Charger, honey. And there's nothing more sexy.
Totally.
I love that.
I agree.
Let's talk about that. Your uncle is a famous Indonesian philosopher. Is this correct?
This is correct. Wow. You went straight in for that.
Girl, honey.
Okay, that's interesting.
We do our
yes,
research here on the Kelly Mantle Show. Tell me about this. Who is he? What kind of philosopher? What is this?
Right. So I come from a very well-known, very important family that are scholars and spiritual leaders in the Muslim history of Indonesia.
That makes perfect sense.
And my last name is a very well-known one, and my uncle, Buya Hamka, is a very well-known leader. I don't know how else to describe it.
That's beautiful.
I've never actually really spoken about it.
Have you not? Oh, I'm
not
sorry.
really.
I didn't know that you
No.
Because it makes, I mean, I think of you as like a fashion philosopher. You know
Right.
what I mean? And it's like, it makes perfect sense that you would have an uncle. That's
My
like
father was a
famous
Muslim for the first part of his life. And at age 50, when I was a little boy, when I was probably about 7, 8 years old, young, my father converted to Christianity and left his Islamic roots, philosophy behind, and then became a preacher, and then the rest of my life had always been about being at church. So,
Right.
but those two spiritualities, those two religions, those two ideals have always been very present in my life, including in my name, like Sultan Ibrahim Karim Amrullah.
Yes.
That's my full name.
That's your
So I
full
have a very
name.
Islamic name, and
Wow.
I remember being a little boy at, actually, I think I was younger as my mom started going to church more. So I would go to church. I was probably about 6, 7. I would go to church with my mom in the evening, but before that we would have Arabic lessons so we could read the Quran. So we were really quite small, my sister and I. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
So all of that impacted your cultural references as well.
And all
which,
that
of
was happening
course-
while I was growing up in Bali.
Oh, so this was all happening in Bali.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
So I was living
No
in
wonder you're
Bali
so exotic.
between we moved to Indonesia when I was age 3. So between ages 3 and 9, we lived in Indonesia. A big chunk of it was spent in Bali, as my parents were going through their own spiritual journey, and my father being from an important Muslim family.
Now, were you always a student of fashion? Like when you lived there as a young child, were you always putting garments and things together? Like looks
Right, of
and
course.
art and
Didn't
stuff?
we? Wasn't that always kind
You're
of our
born that
story?
way,
Yeah.
And that's what I love about you is you're able to, we come from the time when you would go into thrift stores, the Cyndi Lauper days, she'd go thrifting all the time
Right.
and turn that into a look.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about you. You recite, I look at something on a hanger and that's all I see.
Uh-huh.
That's the only thing I see. I can't imagine it any other way. But someone
Right?
like you looks
Really?
at something. No. Now, see, like if you were to say like,
Oh, that's why
a
you did that
guitar,
bacon
like you pick up a
dress.
guitar, you might not know how to do. Well, exactly. You know what I mean?
I actually really love that bacon dress. If we're gonna like go
Hey,
back that
listen,
far,
would you toot or boot or shoot the
PTSD
bacon
to-
dress?
Huh?
Toot, boot, or shoot the bacon dress?
Did I boot it then? I don't even.
No,
fucking
I don't know.
But now I
What
would.
would you do?
I would toot that dress.
It doesn't even get a shoot.
It's not a shoot. Let's not shoot. Let's not go that far. Okay, wait. Let's go back to our story.
Speaking of famous quotes, you say your favorite part of drag is getting into it, and Divine says her favorite part of drag is getting out of it.
Did I say getting in drag is getting into it?
You said the creating of.
Okay, the creating of, yeah. The putting it together.
Putting it together.
The editing. I think the editing.
Bit by bit, putting it together.
The art direction.
Putting it together. Now, do you think
together.
fashion is subjective, or do you think it's definitive?
Subjective.
Interesting.
Definitive. I don't think fashion is definitive. That's weird.
Well, I asked that because
What do you mean by definitive?
What I mean
like
by
you
that
think that
is-
fashion defines a person?
No. I mean definitive in whether it's good or not. Is there fashion that's like what I'm saying is when you look at something like when you taste a food, some people might go, I like this, but some people might go, oh, I don't like that. But it's subjective. So I'm saying when people look at fashion, is it subjective or is it no, there's good and there's bad?
No, I think it's subjective for sure. I think it's whatever you want it to be. I'm never really concerned about fashion itself. I'm
Right.
more concerned about the putting
feel.
together and
You
the
said
mood,
that
right.
on a recent episode of
I can appreciate watching. You know what's more exciting to me is looking like at the windows in New York. At like when they put the Bergdorf or whatever windows out and they put these
Right.
complete vignettes together of things that are. That's more interesting to me than watching models these days. Like I feel like I'm more of an art director. Fashion smashing.
Right.
I think fashion is a farce sometimes now. I think we put too much energy into silly things and in fashion, but I still love it as well.
Well, my
You know,
favorite
like-
fashion designer is Cristiano Ronaldo. What do you think of fashion designers that put their names and logos on their clothes, like Karl Lagerfeld? Would you ever wear that?
Yeah,
Interesting.
I would. Depends. It depends on the logo, right?
It does.
Just for fun, because I think it's fun. I think it's funny. I have a Louis Vuitton bag. I have one, like the classic. It's not is it a logo? Yeah, I guess. It's the brown one. And I carry it, like I've had it for about 15 years. It's the only like actual luxury. I think it's the only luxury item that I carry around all the time. But I like it because I like the campiness of it.
Right.
It's that brown and gold like duffel, and it just fits right here in my arm, and it just tells everyone at the airport terminal that I'm probably going in zone 1 or zone 2.
It lets people know.
It lets them know that I am not going to be a sloppy neighbor in the window seat, and you other two there will be fine.
It
Because
lets
this
people
bag-
know to move. Because, see, I would be the one standing there in my Uggs with... And when you come walking up, I would move out
Yeah.
of your way.
I'd be
to let
I'd
you
be the
go
last
by.
girl on the plane, in the seat, and I'd just be like kind of like, just kind of like, hey guys, I'm in the
Reeking of marijuana.
I'm in the window, so
I'm in the window. Do you prefer a window or an aisle?
window. I have to lean on something, even though it's crooked as a
Okay.
tall
I was getting ready to
person,
say for the view,
it's a
but it's
very
because the lean
strange
on.
lean, yeah,
I understand that. I
Right.
do that according to the length and the time of the flight.
for sure.
If it's like an overnight and it's long, then I will get the window so I can lean. But if it's a short, then I'll get the aisle because I'm a germaphobe.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Tammy Brown sits down on the back of the plane. In case it crashes, she thinks she'll be the last one to die, I guess.
And I sleep sort of like it's a little like
Vampirish?
a little bit. Like
I do too.
You do too.
I do too. Katya and I were just talking about that on The Bald and the Beautiful. I sleep like a
Really?
vamp. Oh, I don't even
Oh,
move.
I always thought it was so abnormal, and people would make fun of me
No.
or tease me about it.
I don't
and
even
would-
think I breathe when I'm sleeping.
Right, I'm not a very movie. Like
No.
I mean, like I don't move around a lot as I sleep, and definitely cross arm feels really comfortable to me.
Yes.
And when I was younger, when I was a teen, I would barely even close my eyes. So my sisters would talk about it. They'd be like,
Wow.
"You would be taking a nap, and you'd be all like."
Interesting.
Yeah.
You're like Damien from The Omen, honey. I knew there was something illustrious about you. So what is Raja, speaking of traveling, what does Raja pack? Because I'm going to tell you what I imagine. I imagine you just throwing your unmentionables and toiletries into a bag and being like, we'll find fashion when we get there. And then you show up and you go to the market and buy like 3 or 4 things and pull like the most fabulous look together to go to Jean-Paul Gaultier's cocktail party.
Totally.
That is so you. I knew I nailed it. Thank you.
There's a base uniform, and it goes according to the weather and climate. Of course, now we have things like apps that can tell us what it's going to be like in Chicago. Yes. When you get there, so it tells me that I should probably bring a few long sleeve layers and maybe a Norma Kamali sleeping bag
of
puffer.
Course. Why not?
But the first things first is there's always the uniform, the basics. I travel very. I'm not I need, if I need something, it better be there.
Yes,
exactly. It's not about the frivolous. I'm not like. I'm very practical.
I love
very
that.
Practical.
I wish I could be like that. Because
really?
I am that messy girl that throws in like 15 different outfits because I can't decide. And then when I get there, I still can't decide. And then I go and buy something new.
Well, the next time I pack, I'm going to let you come over and see. Because in my
study how to do it right.
No.
Exactly.
I'm saying in my head I'm being practical, but it probably looks a lot like yours. But I'm interpreting
that you know how to. See, this is what I'm talking about. Some of us are born with it, and some of us are not.
I think we're packing the same way, but I just have different wording for what I.
I don't think we're packing the same way. I don't even know who Bernard Borland is or whatever you said the person's name.
How many suitcases do you take with you?
I usually take about 6 or 7.
Wow.
I know, and I never can decide what I want. 2 are for toiletries, and one's for makeup, and the other one's for unmentionables, and the other one's from negligee. And the
really 6? 5 to 6?
5 to 6, yes.
How
and
many
then
do you
one
check
is just
in?
alcohol wipes.
I love how far we are too. We're really far. You're not getting my germs.
It's wonderful. Just in case. You never know when someone might be fabulous but contagious.
I know.
Would you rather climb the tallest mountain or travel to the bottom of the sea?
Bottom of the sea.
Why?
Because I think we've been on a lot of flights.
Oh,
we've seen what the tops of mountains look like.
Well, now, would you ever go down in, what's that called, the submarine?
There's Mount Shasta. Oh, look at her. Look at that volcano.
Would you ever go down in a submarine?
In a proper one. Not like a little.
So basically, she'd go down with Karl Lagerfeld.
Wouldn't you?
Fuck yeah. I wouldn't go down in a submarine. I'd be terrified.
Really?
Yes. I don't like being in the ocean. I'm not an ocean girl. I love sitting on the beach and appreciating the ocean. I love cleaning the ocean. I just think
it's an area beaches. I've never, like the depths. I've never been to the depths. And
I feel like it would be very dirty. Just fish swimming
in water,
around, pissing.
Being in water is dirty, Kelly. Salt water.
They're pissing and shitting in the water that they live in, and that's getting into your nostrils. I wouldn't trust the ocean. I feel like I would catch a bacteria that would never leave my body, and I would die. Would you rather have leg-sized fingers or finger-sized legs?
Finger-sized legs.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Why?
Because you can always wear Barbie shoes.
See?
Yeah, I used to do that. I used to put Barbie shoes.
Always bringing it back to fashion. Are you watching? I don't have to ask you if you're watching the new season of Drag Race because you literally critique everyone's looks that come out on Drag Race.
Yeah, but on Fashion Photo Review, we don't get to watch the full episode. So
you just get to see the looks.
We just get the videos.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So now I know recently you went on Lana. And what do you think of the rest of the season?
I'm gonna say that I have actually shockingly. What episode are we into right now? We're like kind of halfway, right?
I think Snatch Game just happened, so we're like 5 or 6. Yeah.
Okay. I can't. Of course, I'm bound through an NDA and papers to say very little or nothing at all. But as an overall energy, I have enjoyed this season very much.
Yes.
And I can't say that about all the others.
All the other seasons.
I think I love the level of drama. I love their ability to source amazing costumes and hair and makeup. I think we're really at that top tier level where the young girls actually have a point of view and they're suddenly less annoying, but actually interesting and attractive, and you know what I mean?
No, I totally know what you mean.
I think that they've hit a good spot on this particular group.
I think so, because they're having to navigate how to maintain this in so much saturation.
And the season before and the season I'm starting. I think World of Wonder has really figured out there's a drag race everywhere. You know,
the formula. I saw a TikTok recently that said the difference between Anya Nerve and some of the other contestants this season is that Anya is a drag queen in a reality show.
Oh.
And some of the other queens are reality show contestants doing drag. Isn't that interesting? Something to pontificate here at the Kelly Mantle Show with Rasha.
Does the Pope pontificate?
What's the Pope pontificates.
Is that what it's called?
I think so. I don't think
that's
she's
what his
pontificating enough, though.
But is that what his job called? What is that?
Well, you would think that that would be her job. She would pontificate, and she would come up with answers and solutions. But instead, they're too wrapped up in their rituals, you know, and they're not really helping anyone, I don't think. You own the supermodel robe?
I do own that, but I bought that. I found that at Junk in Brooklyn.
Yes. We were stomping down sidewalks in New York City with our cut-off Daisy Duke denim jeans and our combat boots, thinking we were the only Madonna backup dancer in Truth or Dare.
Course.
Miss Lady Keir Kirby showing up on the scene. Groove is in the heart, honey. I mean, fighting the AIDS epidemic, you know. And it's like you said, there were no phones. There were no, you know, it was so rare to see a picture or video of someone, you know. Right. There was something in the air. It smelled different. It was wild and crazy.
I also think in this time that because we lived through that experience and grew up in that experience and like got our like muscles.
Yes.
You know,
it was all about the muscle.
That's where we
It was all about that Madonna pose with her muscles.
But that's also where we got our like spiritual like monocle muscles. You know, like we
the protective gear.
Right.
Yeah.
At that time, I think we just kind of knew how to watch our back, which is one of the things that I can definitely offer in this time.
Absolutely. I mean, we all need to, you know.
I feel like politically, I wish I could express as well and as articulate as some of the people that I see who are already sharing the information. So therefore, I share through stories.
Yeah.
But I can definitely share through experience that we can get through this. This is not anything that's really that new. You know, people have definitely done it harder than us.
We have been here before, and we have fought this war before, and we will win again. Absolutely. I mean, you know, it's just like, I feel like a lot of us are like this again. I mean, it is of a different degree, but it's still like, here we go again. I mean, you know, I said that in the Tammy episode, like, I would never think about you if you didn't constantly try to talk about us. Like, just shut up and let us live our life and let us be free, because that's what we're trying to do. Like, it's been the message from the 80s. Be free. La, da, da, da. Honey, we had Martha Wash singing us to freedom, honey. And we still do.
Deep love.
One of my favorite drag numbers of yours is when you shake the powder out of your wig. What is that to?
Through the Fire by Chaka Khan, which she posted on her Instagram.
Did
Go look
she
it up.
Really?
Where she watched it. I guess whoever does her Instagram made her watch it. And there's a reaction video to Chaka Khan watching me do Through the Fire, which I can't do anymore because it uses a lot of baby powder, which it's probably toxic.
Honey,
we should have never been putting that on babies.
Listen, we have been inhaling things that we shouldn't have been for years. We are probably doomed.
That was probably mixed with baby powder?
Yes.
Have you ever masturbated with baby powder?
No.
What are you talking about?
Oh my God, what are these questions that come up here on the Kelly Mantle Show? I've been asked if I had STIs. I've been asked if I've been arrested. And now you're asking if I've ever masturbated with baby powder? No. Have you?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Isn't it coarse?
Not frequently. No, you put it on a baby.
Oh,
Why
I guess
would it be
that's
coarse?
right.
It's very
Well, I've
soft.
never had a baby.
Have you ever had a soft hand on your genital, just moving it around?
No, they're usually hard and
Wet and slimy?
ridden, you know.
Try it dry.
I like those blue-collar men, you know, that get their fingers, nails dirty. I brought you some wine today. I love
Thank you.
I love that merch by most people is like T-shirts, fans, wallets, keychains. This bitch comes out with tarot cards and wine.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect.
I think so too.
I love that. How is the wine?
The wine's gone.
The wine's gone? Are we going to do another one?
I don't know.
Was it a Sauvignon Blanc?
It was a Sauvignon Blanc.
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of like a lot of work.
Is it really?
Yes.
So now do you go and taste it and like figure out like, I mean, like, what do you mean? Like, it's
Yeah, it's just it's a lot of work.
So no more wine.
No, I think we did that already.
We'll drink our own wine.
Cheers. What is your drink of? Do you still
I
drink?
actually have a Sprite in mine, but I did have a little glass of this wine earlier, and it's wonderful. It's a
still
nice
drink
afternoon
alcohol?
delight. Oh, absolutely, honey. I'll never stop drinking alcohol. I've lost too many friends to sobriety.
Honey, I have never related to. What was your character in the Sheila?
Oh my God, you were on the Browns.
I've
with
never
us.
related to a character on a YouTube television docu-series as well as I have with
love
Sheila.
Sheila. And see, Sheila showed up to a fashion
Sheila
shoot
is
with
me.
Raja and Tammy Brown. Yes, you are.
Sheila is me.
You are.
I was so,
You
ha-
are
I
like
was so honored to be on the Browns.
You were so fun to work with. It was so fun that day. It was you and me and Tammy, and who else was there?
Y'all need to keep that going, right?
It is so much fun. I love Sheila. I do.
Sheila was a good
We might
character.
bring it back at some point in some iteration or another.
Relatable.
Yeah.
It was like Kelly Mantle, but also like Jennifer Coolidge. It was kind of like, it was relatable. It was like everyone's like,
Well, you know, she just says what's on her
awful
chest.
drunk
I mean, the other day
auntie.
someone asked her, they said, what was it like having sex with a man the one and only time? She said, my God, it was like a bowel movement in reverse. Something I love that you did before was loved Raja Draja. Loved it so much.
yeah.
You have these beautiful skills of drawing people while you talked to them and had conversation.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about bringing that back?
I think about it all the time. It's just a matter of me finding like a way to do it.
It's so good.
I've sort of reached out and told people that I wanted to do. I spoke to a few friends about like kind of finding someone to produce it because I'm very lazy and all I want to do is just kind of draw the picture, talk to the person, and have
Right.
it. And yeah, I don't want to do all the work.
No.
And then give them and then a check somehow shows up.
Exactly, honey.
You know.
Exactly. You got to have
So-
everyone do all that for you and you just draw.
I definitely want to bring it back because I feel like I have showcased a lot of my drag stuff, you know, and my opinions of drag stuff, my, you know, but there's other things that I do. For instance, I paint. I'm an illustrator. I'm a writer. And so I
You do
just
it
really
all.
want
And
to...
you started doing solo shows, which I'm so excited about because I know you and I talked about that in the day. You were like, I want to start doing solo shows.
And
I'm
you
so glad you started
and you
doing
as
them.
you as a template, and you
Aw.
amongst you know, a group of people in our generation who really inspired me to kind of because I think for many girls now, I think that it sort of stops at like lip sync for your life, but
Yeah.
I grew up in a time in the 90s and early 2000s where people did a show.
Absolutely. Well,
You
you know,
know.
we were so influenced by like Sandra Bernhardt, Karen Finley,
Yes.
Laurie Anderson, you know,
Absolutely.
all these wonderful performance artists and stuff. And
Sarah Bernhardt, definitely like top. If
my
there was like an actual pinboard of moods,
honey,
she would be at the top.
the
'Cause
poetry,
the poetry, the ease, the banter, the humor,
my
the
God,
music,
fashion,
the
I mean,
musicality.
everything. Yes,
She'd
the
be like,
musicality. Yes.
she'd talk about Johnny Versace and then do a whole fucking song,
God.
and like, I mean, you know,
love her.
that stuff.
A telephone conversation between Jackie and Marilyn. Hello? 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 I love to love you, baby.
Right.
I want to see.
Right.
Have you ever performed that?
No, but I
love to
think
see
I
you
think
do
it's
that.
an easy one to get in my range.
Oh
You
my
know,
gosh,
like
I would love to see that. And you just doing like a 70s dance and like these
Yeah.
those rays of lights like from the 70s just hitting you.
the lasers,
The
and then
lasers,
and the
thank
smoke,
you. Yes,
the
and the smoke machine. And you're like, love, love, love. Everybody comes to Hollywood.
Hollywood.
I want to make it in the neighborhood.
Oh, should we have a show together? We should do a show together.
Honey, thank you, John Mark. We love you. Honey, we have notes.
Have we just thought of something? Have we just conceptualized something?
I would do anything with you.
No, I'm not that cool. You've
no,
traveled with like the most though. You've like Bianca Del Rio. You've been with like Trixie. How dare I even ask you to be?
Are you
to
kidding
even collaborate?
me? I would literally live to go anywhere with you to any ends of the earth to do
But
anything
just like
with
5
you.
cities. I'm not talking about.
Well, no, we can only do 5 cities, honey. We're ladies of luxury. West Coast, just Salem, Portland, Massachusetts, and Sacramento,
Vancouver,
and San Diego. See, we're already on a roll. Buy your tickets at kellymantle.com.
I'm serious.
I'm serious too.
I think it was a crystal ball.
Honey, we just need to show up and let the audience know that we smoke big old joogies and we're just going to sit on stage for an hour and talk.
Bitch.
In San Diego.
I think it's kismet.
At the Balboa Theater. Honey, we can do soliloquies from Tennessee Williams.
Soliloquies.
Yes.
We should do it on that big like wooden ship. There's a big wooden ship in San Diego. Did they ever do shows on there?
Oh, wait, I know what
Is there
you're
a
talking
theater
about.
on-
James took me down there one time because, he was in the Marine Corps, and we went down to all the military ships down there.
I lost my virginity to a Marine out there.
Did you really?
I sure did.
From Pendleton?
Pendleton.
Fuck yeah. Good for you. Gave it to you, right?
Yeah. I was like,
Fuck yeah.
this is it. I'm
That's
a
it,
slut
honey.
now.
Fuck yeah.
Geminis have a tendency to be kind of sometimes late bloomers for some.
I am too. I was a late bloomer.
I was like, you know what?
I don't know about you. Well, you grew up here. I mean,
scary.
I love that you call yourself what is it? Angelina Jolie?
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie. I love that term. She's an Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
But I grew up in a really small town in Oklahoma, so I didn't know anything about no words or gay or straight or bi or trans or nothing. I didn't know nothing. And it wasn't until I moved to the big cities like Chicago and LA where people started telling me what I was. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. But no, I'm not just that. But thank you, though. Get well soon. You know, it's weird. Our gender journeys have been similar in that way, I think.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think so. I always say, and I have a daughter, my daughter Bianca,
Yes.
who is in San Francisco. But we always talk about it because her and I have been friends for now many decades, and I watched her go through her transition. And I always say to her that I think I probably would have transitioned. We probably would have done it at the same time. But the possibilities for trans women in particular at that time in the late 80s, actually anywhere before 2011, was very bleak and limited.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The
Like all of
information,
my
everything,
girlfriends
yeah.
all of my girlfriends had to survive by being hookers. There's no problem with that. I have huge respect for sex workers.
Absolutely, honey.
I have the highest respect for sex
Honey.
workers because of the experience.
Yeah.
But I grew up around that. And I didn't have that savvy and survival skill and immediate need and urgency to be in that body.
Right.
Because somehow I was able to embody it through drag, and it wasn't. I before I even realized it, today it's identified as being non-binary.
Yeah.
You know, it's the actual term.
It is the actual term, and we didn't have that term when you and I were coming up. We were gender benders, gender fuckers.
So I just went up. I just
androgyne.
went for straight up Asian. That's
go.
it. That was all that was allowed for me. I wasn't a trans girl or a
But see, that's so funny because, like I said at the beginning of this podcast, knowing you for so long, I saw you as a woman. I thought you were a woman. You were like full on womana.
I think I felt it.
You were full on womana,
I was
honey.
definitely supposed to transition.
Yeah, at that pool table, you were fully womana.
I don't ever have any regret because I still.
No, that's what I mean, though. It's like you embody that regardless of what medically goes on.
I think it like I could turn that on with a razor.
Fuck yeah.
I could shave. I don't even have to shave my legs.
Honey, no.
It's
all about honey, no, honey. Grow your hairy armpits like Lola, honey.
If I turned it on, if you wanted to fuck a girl, you're fucking a girl. But if you want to fuck a boy, I can turn that. I will fuck you like a man.
You will spin them round like a record baby, round and round.
Right,
honey.
round.
Pete
round,
Burns
round.
ain't got nothing on you. Fuck yeah. Okay, so here on the Kelly Mantle Show, we like to play word association. Here we are with Raja.
Oh God. Okay.
Do I have your consent?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me breathe in really quick.
Breathe in.
Okay, I'm ready. Word associations.
Tweed.
Tweed?
Tweed.
Tweed coats, right? Tweed warm.
Yes.
Tweed wool. Woolen. Tweed woven.
Are you a fan of tweed?
I am a fan of tweed.
Yes. I love that.
Yes.
Hot dog.
Bacon wrapped. Outside a precinct.
So
Come
you
on.
do like bacon.
You know, I do. Jalapenos with the onions, baby.
Oh, honey,
Bacon
baby.
wrapped.
The drag
I'm an LA girly. It's got to be out. Yeah.
Girl, she's going to scarf down that hot dog afterwards. You know she is.
Yes.
Pret-a-porter.
The film.
Yes.
And the music, the soundtrack.
Robert Altman.
The Cranberries, bitch. Oh, so pretty the way you are. Isaac Mizrahi, Jean-Paul Gaultier. I think Bjork is in the film. It is fashion history.
It is fashion history. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm so glad that you appreciate and love that film because I do too.
Sophia Loren.
Sophia Loren, honey. Yes, and Angelica Houston.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you know that I actually did model once for Stephen Meisel for Italian Vogue magazine?
Do you know that I was supposed to be at that shoot?
Shut up. With the Chanel twins?
With the Chanel twins, and one of my friends, Destiny, was in that photo shoot.
Yes.
Can I tell you that that is one of the biggest regrets in my life?
What did you say no?
I only the Chanel twins invited me.
Uh-huh.
We did Pride that morning. It was on a Sunday.
Yes, it was, yeah.
And I got too drunk. And y'all
That's
did
a great reason.
Y'all did the Stephen Meisel shoot.
Yes.
And I saw it months later when it came out. And Destiny showed me, and there she is sitting on this couch.
Yes.
With her hair all blown back, Stephen Meisel, and all of you guys got to do that photo shoot. And I didn't go to it because I got too fucked up. On a Pride Sunday.
Well,
and I was like,
thank God you didn't show up to it because I actually looked like a real model for once. But no, I didn't even know he was shooting. Because that's when I smoked cigarettes and you could still smoke indoors. So we were all just sitting there smoking and I'm sitting there with the other models. I'm feeling like a model,
right.
Smoking. And then
was it a whole weekend that he was doing? I mean,
yeah, it was like a whole thing. And then I thought he was setting up the shot. And I'm just sitting there smoking and talking and not thinking about it. And he's like, he comes up and he's like, "Thank you so much."
Have you seen
I was
that?
Like, wait a minute, that was it? That was the shoot?
Yes.
The end result was beautiful. It's Stephen Meisel.
Are you allowed to make merch?
Madonna sex.
You should merch it.
I want to merch it. I should merch it. I should make money off of Stephen Meisel.
I want to print that.
Yes.
In my house.
Oh, and the other one we both worked with is David LaChapelle.
David LaChapelle.
Girl.
Well, David, you got to be actually photographed by David LaChapelle. Do you know him?
We did 2 Elton John videos together. Oh. So we were in Elton John videos together.
Remember when those videos used to have budgets?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But you know what I love? I love your music video with Austin Young, which you said cost like $300. $350. Austin Young.
A water hose and a leaf blower, and it was when they used to have a gallery on 6 in Vermont.
It's so beautiful and perfect and
Jr.
better than any $50,000 video I've ever seen. It's amazing.
It was so fun.
I know. And David LaChapelle likes to bring Mama makeup on.
Oh,
Sharon Galt. Sharon Galt, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Sharon Galt, Mama makeup. They're rushing us.
We just got into
because
Sharon Galt.
We got into Mama makeup, honey.
This is episode 2 and 3.
Honey, we have things to do here on the Kelly Mantle Show, and don't you forget it. All right, we're going to do drag association. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Drag association? Okay.
Yes. Drag association.
I just want to make sure to get all angles.
Get all angles, please.
This is my Pamela Anderson era of my life. No makeup.
Honey, you don't need makeup. You're naturally beautiful.
Okay, go ahead.
Miss Fame.
Association?
Yes, drag association. These are like word association,
Okay.
but drag things.
Miss Fame.
Miss Fame.
Fashion.
Yes. I saw her in Zurich when T&K Live went there, and she came and saw the show with her husband.
She loves it.
I love her.
She loves fashion. I love her.
She's gorgeous. Jinx Monsoon.
Legendary. So talented.
Right?
Respect.
Respect.
Let's start it with that. Respect. Okay, and then
What was it like working with her?
great and annoying.
Raven.
Oh my God.
The history.
Tias, sisters. Badass fucking SoCal aunties. Don't mess with us. This is where we're from. We've seen it. We've done it. We've touched it. We fucking made it all better. There's this brain communication that just happens when we're like next to each other, and none of those words are ever said out loud. But it's definitely like a magnet that keeps us like together.
And that's exactly what it is, because it's a magnet, because there's still some friction.
Yeah. Also leave
like
me
healthy
alone.
friction. Yes.
I don't have to see her for like 6 months, and then when I see her 6 months later, I'm like. Like the energy just goes back and forth again.
That's the way she is, though. I love that. Every once in a while, I would get a text from her.
Remember those balls in the 80s, like where you would put your hand on it and like it would be like electric like lasers.
If you get too close to it,
I need that. I need one of those. Do they still make those?
I
need
think
that.
so. I think this is one.
Yeah, I need that. That's me in Raven.
Fashion Association, and then we're done.
Okay.
Fashion Association was Russia. The blondes. Aren't they incredible?
Incredible.
I'm telling you, I don't know shit about fashion, but when I tell you I love it.
Change my mind about amazing. About hand-hewn sculptural glamour. E6000.
Yes.
Swarovski. Bitch.
God. Perry Ellis.
TJ Maxx. Reliable. Whenever I need a t-shirt or a shirt. Yeah, TJ Maxx will always have a Perry Ellis.
When are we going to see The Devil Wears Prada, the one-woman show starring Raja? I need to see you do that monologue.
If it's my show, The Devil Wears Rick Owens, not The Devil Wears Prada.
There you go. She by Sheree. She by Sheree.
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunities.
I think that could have been so much bigger.
Really could have.
I would have still been wearing She by Sheree.
Honey, I would have.
Don't you think?
Yes. If you were to have a
know.
scent, what would it smell like? A signature Raja scent.
Okay. Do I get a few seconds? Okay, yes. I get like a quick second. Okay, there would have to be like something really incensey, like frankincense. I think Palo Santo, because I'm an LA witch. It would have to have something floral, like
Clove.
Clove would be great. I also love vanilla. I love tobacco. But if floral, I would go for like rose, also into like frangipani, which is plumeria. Like something very islandy, right? Something that smells like Bali, like a temple. It would have to smell like incense. It would have to be also sexy. So like something that smells a little bit like leather, or like, or something that you could just drink.
Yes.
Yeah. It goes in something that goes in your mouth.
Whiskey and marijuana.
Ooh.
With a dash of vanilla. Yes.
Yeah. It has to be sexy. Poppers. It could smell like video cleaner.
Honey, please come out with a line of poppers. I love you.
Healthy ones.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why she is Raja, because she is the Diamond Crown Queen.
Follow me. I'm an Instagram queen.
Where can people follow you, Raja?
Really, just on my Instagram.
On her Instagram, which is Raja.com.
Yes.
We know you have a million podcasts to choose from, and for some reason, you chose us, and we really love you for it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I love you.
I love you, and I love your wine that you've given me.
Salud.
This is so fun.
Until next
Oh
time,
my God.
we'll see you here at the Kelly Mantle
Best
Studio.
day ever. Best day ever.